This is Ben, Liam and Belle on Nova.
Well, g'day there, podcaster.
What the hell, Andy?
Belle's last chance to say g'day
That's
there,
unfair.
podcaster. And Andy has snuck in. Producer Andy, wow. That's
Don't turn your mic off now. Oh,
no,
you've
that was
done
cold.
your bit.
I liked that. That was funny.
Bloody hell.
Well, yeah, Belle, it's been a pleasure. It's been an honour doing the Liam and Belle show with you.
It's been an honour. What's that from?
Probably lots of things. I think any sort of a war
It's been
movie.
an honour.
You're thinking of Titanic when it's sinking, aren't you? When that-
No.
Thank you, gentlemen. It's been an honour.
No.
It's been an honour playing with you gentlemen
No,
tonight,
no.
and then they come back
There's
and
something
play
else
the
where he
violin.
goes, it's been an honour. I don't know.
Braveheart?
It's annoying.
You do this a lot. You go like, it's from a thing, and then I'll give like 4 options that are perfectly
It is.
acceptable, and you go,
been an
yeah.
honour.
And then you might realise like, and we might come on at the end of the podcast, but either way, Ben's back Monday, guys. It was a fun one today.
We
I
had
think-
a lot of choices of podcast names.
Yes,
I think
there
whoever
was.
the best, but you'll be able to pick out. I think you'll be able to pick out the other options that we may have gone with. It's a fun game. Let's make a bingo game out of it. I think there was about 3 or 4.
Yeah,
so
at
see if
least.
you can find them.
At least enjoy. Flimsy Veggie Belle strikes again.
By accident.
Caught you red-handed
It was an accident.
the other night, hoeing in to some meat lovers pizza, Belle. You know why they call it meat lovers pizza? It's for people who love meat, like you.
It was an accident, Liam.
You claim accidents a lot, don't you?
Can I please explain what happened?
Well, go for it.
Okay.
I'm keen to hear your explanation.
So we were out and there was pizzas. There was takeaway pizzas. And they were in boxes like they come in. And some of them had veg written on them, which was great. We had our veggie pizzas. Some even had vegan written on them because they had vegan cheese. And I went to the veg box and someone put a meat one in the veg box because on the top of it wasn't like you say meat lovers. It had cheese on top. It had tomato and stuff. It had olives and it was in the veg box and it looked like it. And I took a bite out of it and it was underneath the cheese. It was loaded with shredded ham.
How many slices did you have before you realised?
I came straight to
there was
you. I said
I
to
literally
you,
saw the
Liam.
crust of one left. And you were like, someone put a meat one in the veg box. Someone put it. I think I would realise pretty soon if I was eating
that
salami.
wasn't mine. I took one bite and
There was
can I
half of
say-
it missing as well. So I don't. And can we even rule out, were you the one putting meat slices in the veg box as a sort of defence? You're sort of doing it
No,
before.
I don't know where these pizzas came from, but wherever it came from, I think that place also didn't know what vegetarian or vegan means.
It's always the
So
blame game with you,
No,
Belle.
listen. I had one out of the vegan box and it had vegan cheese and it was veggie. But then another vegan box I looked in and you could see clearly it had vegan cheese, but they also put ham on
A
it.
couple of weeks ago, it was your mum's tuna's mornay. Before that, it was the burritos that were sent to work. What do you have to say for yourself, Belle?
It was an accident.
Do you think about the animals? Like the poor animals? Like, how would they be
Are
feeling?
you serious? That's exactly why I'm veggie. I'm veggie because meat is murder. And
Well,
you know that.
you keep claiming that, but then I keep seeing you eating meat all the time.
all the time. It was an accident. And I
Well,
didn't eat
look-
that burrito. That burrito I took home and gave to my brother, and we did an investigation into that.
Belle, this is the thing. I didn't want to do this. I've never told you this before, but I'm actually an animal medium. So
What are you
so
about to do?
I can contact
This is not going to be okay.
the other side. So would
No,
you,
this
would
is
you like
actually-
to
I
hear
don't
what your
wanna-
victims have
No,
to say?
if you're actually going to, are you seriously
Well,
going
no,
to
but
pretend to be
no,
dead
'cause
animals?
I'm not, because
I
sometimes
swear to
sometimes
God.
they come through without me. Like
Liam,
I can't
no,
I
this
can't
is
have
not
control of
okay.
it. It's just sort of something. I'm getting word from a pig.
Oh my God.
Oink, oink. I was in the peak of my life. I was happy as a
Liam.
pig in That's until you ate literal shreds of my ass on
No.
a thin crust and tomato base.
No.
I know I was in the veg box, but you knew what you were doing. You enjoyed me, didn't you, Belle?
I've got a tuna coming through. 2 weeks ago you ate me in your mum's tuna mornay. I'll never see my mum again because you ate me, Belle. You've killed more of my friends than John West. I think there's a chicken coming through.
Oh my God, Liam. No.
Belle, I lived a happy life before I was turned into a promotional Mad Mix burrito that was delivered to Nova 100. I'll never get to see my eggs hatch because you ate me in your car. Why did the chicken cross the road? To get away from you!
I'm back. What happened? Sorry, I just blacked out there. What happened? Sorry, I was just here a second ago. It's like a micro sleep or something. You all good?
No, that was not okay. That's too real. I know you find it funny, but
You're the one eating them.
I didn't.
I saw it.
That was an accident.
It was an accident, wasn't it? I'll try telling the big dad.
Nah.
You could go to the gym or do the shopping or go to work. But what if you went in a beachier direction?
You're only a what if away from a holiday with the What If app.
Book accommodation, flights, packages, and more. What if it's Aussie for travel?
It's 6:10. Hallelujah, it's 6:10.
Daniel in Mulgrave, Eager Beaver. You're the first. I'd say that you're the third person in the Beaver Club who's called up before the show to get involved. Does that feel good?
That feels great, mate.
Oh, awesome. Oh, well, let's kick into the quiz. Britney Spears is getting divorced from her husband of only 1 year. Can you name something that is toxic?
Poison.
Yep, poison's toxic, or Britney Spears' husband of 1 year. Hey, the most popular overseas tourist spots have been revealed, and Italy is more popular with Aussies than ever. How do you say hello and goodbye in Italian? Same word.
I don't know, ciao.
Yeah, ciao. Ciao, Bella. After doing such a good job of hosting the Women's World Cup, Australia is lining up a bid for the 2034 Men's World Cup. Can you name any country, men or women, that has won a World Cup in the past?
Italy.
Italy have. Ciao. Yep, 2006. Okay, Taylor Swift has declined to do next year's Super Bowl halftime show. Obviously, she's just too busy, I suppose. The name of her current big hit song from an old album is Cruel What?
Summer.
Very good, Daniel.
Daniel, you're on a roll here. Last question. Today would have been Patrick Swayze's birthday. Can you finish these lyrics?
The time of my life.
Very good, Daniel. You are on it.
It's 5 for 5. Well, you're getting a Greek dinner.
Yeah, we'll shout you dinner. You get a $150 voucher to Hella Good. It's Greek, it's fast, and it's hella tasty.
Yeah, Matt, thanks very much.
Yeah, no worries. Hella good, Daniel. You also get to pick the next song we play. So would you like to hear a bit of a slower number that you might have heard when you finished up in year 7? Graduation, Vitamin C. Or should we bring Scatman John in this morning?
Get through.
I snuck it in. I snuck it in. I thought it'd be good if someone picked it for a Friday.
Yeah, definitely number 2.
Yeah. Well, Daniel, to you we say ciao.
You a Scatman, Liam.
You must have looked at my internet history.
Oh, okay.
Here it is. Scatman John.
I'm a Scatman.
One of the greatest voices of our generation. Scatman John.
He's not with us anymore.
No, Scatman John died from scout-related causes in 1998, I believe. I think it was something to do with his lungs. I think he scattered too hard.
Really?
But that's the gift he gave us. He gave us his lungs. Scatman. Like, if you're doing that every night for say 20, 30 years, you're going to wear yourself out. So, and that's unfortunately, succumbed to it.
Well, I'm glad we got that out.
Yeah, I think there's, we're probably, there's always those shows like X Factor and, Masked Singer and Australia's Got Talent and Australian Idol, and they're all the same. But I would like to see someone bring back scat. You know, we had Joel Turner with beatboxing.
I was going to say that's not.
No, that's not. It's
Hang
not
on,
scat. But I'm saying he made it cool on those shows.
What is scat?
Well, you just heard 3 minutes of it. It's
So
like
it's-
jazz. It's like vocal jazz. It's just sort of you can't.
That ain't vocal jazz.
Yeah, it is.
Whatever
You can't
that was.
control it.
You can't
You're
call
chasing
that.
the train. Ski bop. Scat.
So like.
Yeah, it needs work, but that's the emphasis.
Well, I don't want to go
scat.
the way of Scatman, John. I don't
No,
want to
that's it. You don't want to just if you,
you
do
know?
get the hang of it, just keep it to a minimum because we don't want to. We don't want to have another scat-related death on our hands.
No, you got to regulate the scat.
Ben's going to be back on the show from Monday off of paternity leave. His little baby Freddie was born a couple of weeks ago, and we put up a photo yesterday on the Ben, Liam and Belle Instagram if you want to check that out. Also, Belle, this time yesterday, do you remember we opened up the Forbidden Folder and we were
it was
talking...
a great one.
We're talking teen mums.
Yeah.
Super exciting. We had some incredible calls. One that sticks out to me was the wonderful Sharon from Eltham, who had an incredible story. You were a teen mum of 3, is that right?
I was.
Oh
I
my
ended up with
God.
8. But
Yeah, hang on.
Sharon.
You've given birth 8 times.
I have.
8 children. She's a lawyer. She had 3 kids before she was 20. But
And
she's
then-
had an amazing life.
Yeah, and then she said she has 10 grandkids
Yes.
off those
and
8
she's like
kids.
50-something.
Incredible.
But like, I think where our heads went straight away, it's as soon as she said, I've got 8 kids. I think we've got to find Melbourne's biggest family, right?
Yeah.
I have never even come across a family with 8 kids.
If you're Melbourne's cheaper by the dozen, if
Yeah.
you are having to meal prep for the kids' dinner, basically, if you have, let's say, more than 8, obviously. We've
Yeah,
got
I
8
think
from
where
Sharon.
8 is like the base, like that's
Yeah.
crazy. But if you're like, jump numbers, I had 10 kids, 13, 24, 10. Give us a call. We're looking for the biggest family in Melbourne. Would we take if you were like, you know, you're a bit older now and you've got like 10 siblings or something like that. So you've not
Yeah,
given...
yeah.
Of course, it's more exciting if we can speak to the person who's given birth
Yes.
to like double digits. But just big families this morning, 13, 24, 10. We can't promise prizes for all your brothers and sisters, but we'll make it worth your while if you call through.
Megan in South Yarra, good morning. Is this yourself or someone in your family?
This will be my dad.
Right. And how many brothers and sisters did he have?
He was the youngest of 14.
Youngest? Of, that's more than cheaper by the dozen. That's cheaper by the dozen. That's a baker's dozen plus another one.
They'd watch that movie and go, "Pfft."
What a small family. And do they all I mean, I suppose you... I don't know. Do you know, like, many of your aunties and uncles? Are you sort of close family, or...?
I managed to meet most of them. There were a few that passed before I was born.
course,
There's
yeah.
20 years between the oldest and the youngest.
wow.
Because
Um,
in the movie, they all have very different personalities. It's like one's like a kid who like he's obsessed with lizards, and then
don't
there's
think
like
we can-
another.
hang
Well, do you know
on.
what I mean? Like, do you? I
Stop
wonder.
comparing this.
No, what I'm
to
saying
Cheaper
is,
by
if you
the
have
dozen.
14 kids to the same parents, do you reckon they were all pretty similar, or did they have like one was like really sporty, and then there was like another one who was good at theatre, or do you know?
look, the ones that I've met, they're all pretty much copy and paste of each other. So-
Annoying. So that's where the Hollywood angle comes into it.
Is one of them redhead? Is one of them how many? Like,
Does one of them have a frog in a box who gets bullied, and then they find him later on?
Chris in Altona, good morning. Now, this was your mum.
Yeah, it's my mum. She's one of 15 kids.
Wow.
Oh man! I mean, what sort of like what is the situation there? Who's having 15 kids? Like, can you shed a bit of light?
Yeah, it's because I'm Maltese origin,
Okay.
and during the Second World War, the government encouraged everyone to have more kids to build up the Maltese population again.
Right.
I mean, they really took that and ran with it, didn't they?
Yeah.
Oh, they really ran with it.
Yes, sir.
So,
we'll have 15 kids.
Did they got paid per child?
No, they didn't get paid, but the population of Malta was decimated during the Second World War. There was only 30 or 40% of the population left, so...
So it was just hey, we need you to do this. You don't really get anything in return, but it's all on you. Hey.
Yeah. Wow.
Wow.
Yeah, my family really put in a good effort.
They did. They got those numbers up, Chris. That's incredible. I mean, I don't think we can get more than 15. Marcel and Doreen, this is your mum. Bigger family than that?
Yeah, bigger than 15, 21, and also Maltese.
Oh, so the Maltese thing, 21 kids. I mean, you
21.
would like. I feel like you would forget some at some point. Like, you know what I mean? You know, some people have.
I can only remember 10.
Yeah.
Off the top of my head. Yeah.
Because people have like mum brain and that sort of stuff, and they're like, oh no, like
and you know when Dad's like, Caitlin, oh, you're not Caitlin. Which one are you?
Yeah.
So Marcel, was this another war incentive thing?
I don't know if it was a war thing, but like I know my grandparents were religious, so every time they did the deed, it resulted in a baby, and that's it.
Yep. So got lucky 21 times over their marriage.
Jenny, you have given birth to how many children?
I have given birth to 16 children.
That
Jenny,
deserves
wow.
I think that deserves a round of applause. Jenny, that is truly astonishing. When was the last time you gave birth? Like how young is the youngest kid?
She just turned 9. So
Okay.
it's been a while.
Okay. So and you're not in the market for 17?
Oh, look, we would have always been happy to have some more, but I think age is going to step in now and maybe pull us up a little bit.
Yeah.
So your youngest is 9, Jenny. How old is the oldest?
33.
Oh my
yeah.
gosh.
All right. So there's a fair span there. Jenny, what are the names of your 16 children?
Okay, so let's start at the top, shall we?
Yep.
And we'll work our way down. So we've got Jessie, Brooke, Claire, Natalie, Carl, Sam, Cameron, Sabrina, Timothy, Brandon, Eve, Nate, Rachel, Eric, Damien, and Caitlin.
Gee whiz, thank God. Oh, and I was testing you there a bit, Jenny. I must admit.
I was going to say, don't ask me ages or birthdays.
yeah. I mean, that is huge. I mean, is there any reason why you guys decided to have that many kids? Was that always the plan?
It was never the plan for me. I didn't actually plan on having any children. Husband wanted, 4 or 6 kids, and I said I would have 1 or 2. It was me that asked for number 3 because I just love being a mum. And we just continued on. We've lost a few babies over the time as well, so that kind of changes your heart and, makes you really appreciate how fantastic children really are. So.
Jenny, I don't have any kids of my own, and when I think about having kids in the future, money stresses me out, and I do worry that they're very expensive. If you don't mind me asking, what do you do for work, and how do you support 16 children?
Look, we're very lucky that Ray has always had a really good job. He's worked very, very hard and very long hours over the years to support us. And, I also run, some social media things as well. So, but I'm very good with the budget and I know how to stretch it. And
so you wouldn't be going on family holidays to, Disneyland or anything, would you?
No.
Yeah.
So, and what about dinner time? Because I mean, it's almost like you're cooking for like a wedding or an engagement party. Like it feels like you'd need like an industrial sized kitchen to cook for 16 kids. I mean, plus you two, that's like 18 people.
Yeah, and there are nights where some of the kids that have moved out and they're married with their babies now, and they come home for dinner, and you could have 25 plus people here for dinner.
Wow.
So yeah.
Wow. And so what was the most you had living under one roof? I understand, obviously, some they've left the nest, they're in their 30s now, but what's the most you had, at the same time living with you?
Yeah, see, we've only got 8 living here at the moment. So,
that's crazy. That's manageable. Are they all bunking? Are they has everyone got rooms, or are they like?
Yeah. You can put bunk beds in rooms, but I think at one point we were trying to work it out recently, actually, and I think there was either 14 or 15 kids living here at one point.
Wow.
So how did you manage? A lot of people get stressed on Saturday mornings running around with sport. How did you manage all the curricular activities?
I let hubby take care of it.
Wow.
You did the dirty work. You gave birth. Now it's his problem to run them
around.
I know,
right? I wash the jerseys and he does the running around.
Yeah.
Takes them to sport.
Now,
Wow.
I'm assuming, Jenny, having 16 kids, you probably have seen the 2003 feature film Cheaper by the Dozen.
Yes.
And you've got more than that. But I'm going to bring it back to the personality thing again. You're probably a better person to ask, because like you're the mother of these children. Are they quite similar? Do you have like 4 or 5 that are like kind of like the same, or are they all like completely different? Like one's really good at science, and there's like another one who's like a dancer, and then like one's into like motorsport, and like do they all have really different personalities?
Yeah, we often say to people it's like having an only child times 16.
Oh, right.
Because they are so unique. I mean, you can see some similarities because obviously they're all raised by the same parents and they have the same parents. So, but yeah, I see so many differences in amongst them. I find it really interesting and a real challenge sometimes.
What do they sort of do for work? I mean, I'm assuming some of them are like in like year 7, but like what do their jobs and things range? Like are they completely different?
What, outside of school?
Yeah.
Do you mean?
Yeah.
Oh look, we've had everything from hospitality. We've got hairdressers. We've got trade folks. We've got some that are still at university at the moment and studying things like architecture and technology, that sort of thing. And then we've got still 6 at school.
So you played your cards right here because really you never have to pay for a haircut again. You can get
You've got a small town,
you can get a shed
basically.
put up. You can that's it. You could have your own commune if you want. Well,
it's pretty good. We could do with a dentist.
I can imagine. Oh, Jenny, this has been such a fascinating chat. Thank you so much for joining us this morning.
No worries. I'm going to head off and get some kids to school.
Yes, I'm sure you are.
I'm assuming you drive a minibus to get them all there. Well, wonderful. That was incredible. I never got to ask Jenny if she had a kid that was really into frogs and catching tadpoles and that sort of stuff.
It's not the movie.
Bit of a worry. They've cancelled the Fed Square live site for the Women's World Cup. Now, this is kind of like the iconic place to watch all the Matildas games and the Socceroos, and it always is heaving. That's kind of the point. And that, I originally when people were saying yesterday, there was flares, I'm like, yeah, that's the point. Like I've been in those situations before, and you're kind of like, oh, geez, I hope I don't get hit by one, but it is exciting being a part of that crowd. But then I did see some footage from later on in the day, and I'm like, oh man, that actually looks scary. When the barricade comes down, because they're obviously at capacity, and then, people are running in and people have got like masks on, and then the barricades were getting thrown around. It looked pretty dangerous, especially if, the Matildas, it was like a good family vibe, obviously lots of young girls and kids and that sort of stuff. If you were there with your family, you probably would have been feeling pretty unsafe.
I think wires got crossed because, Liam, you've been a soccer head forever. You've seen the chaos that happens overseas. Whereas, like you said, this Matildas game was a real family vibe. Yet you've got the soccer heads going, nah.
Yeah, but like I'll also say like that. It's a classic thing for football fans in Australia to get bad reputations, and obviously there was Bucketgate at the Melbourne Victory game, which was disappointing. But there's a few bad eggs, but for the most part, like it's like that is the culture. Like it's sort of chanting, and it's it's a little bit rowdy, but it did look like it maybe went a little too far, and it's kind of ruined it for everyone this weekend. Chelsea from Glen Iris was actually there. Chelsea, how hectic was it?
Well, we got there maybe at 5:30. We went straight from work, me and a few of the girls, and we just, caught the tram up, got there nice and early, and we got a really good spot against like what they had set up as a walkway. So we had no one in front of us to be able to get a good view of the screen, which was amazing.
However, Chelsea, we saw like the flares and everything. Were you near that?
Yeah, well, no, that was mostly happening towards the back, but we actually ended up leaving because like 2 hours, an hour before it had even started, before they showed it on the screen, everyone was just going mad. The people at the back were like throwing flares all the time. They actually like picked up the metal barricades and were like putting them over people's heads and passing them through the crowds. People at the front, like on the borders, because they'd basically blocked it off saying it was full. They were pushing down the barricades, and then like hundreds of young, like probably like teenagers, were just like running in and like pushing people over to try and get to that like what we call the feral section at the back. And it kept going, and like it was getting closer and closer to the game. They were playing a nice song on the screen. They turned it off because everyone was getting so feral. And then it got to like 7:50, and they weren't showing the broadcast, and like we were all thinking, like, what's happening? Are they going to cancel it? And then there was, like, an announcer hosting it as well. And, like, every 2 minutes she'd say, we advise you, we encourage you to go to Amy Park. We encourage you to go to Amy Park.
Oh, so it was almost like an angry mum or a teacher being like, all right, if we don't calm down, we're not going, we're turning the car around.
You could tell she was smiling, but she was so stressed, and everyone just looked like absolute, like, chaos was ensuing. And actually thought it wasn't going to go ahead because we didn't see the anthem, we didn't see Matildas walk onto the pitch.
Whoa.
So we left, we walked to Amy Park, we got it up on our phones. We ended up missing the first 20 minutes, just like we watched it on our phone.
Oh, so you pulled the pin. You got out of there. It was
We
too
pulled the
hostile.
pin, yeah, because our thinking was if it got to 8 p.m. and they canned it and didn't play the game on the screens, which we thought was a real possibility at that point, that everyone would have just trampled out of there. And it would have been mayhem.
So what was Amy Park like, Chelsea?
Amy Park was great. It was practically full when we got there. We were up on level 3, so it was pretty packed out. But when Sam Kerr got that goal, it was insane. Everyone was jumping up and down. Obviously not when England got the goal, but
which one?
It was a great atmosphere there still. So glad we still got to see it at one of the viewing sites.
Yeah, well, thanks for your call, Chel. It's a bit of a pain that a few bad eggs ruined it for everyone. And sort of everyone loses out now if the live site's cancelled. Everyone except for BCF, whose flare stocks have gone through the roof this week. So they're having just as good a week as Rebel Sport, selling out of all the Tilly's Guernseys.
What gives you the ick?
What gives you the ick? Is there a particular trait or small annoyance that repulses you about someone? 13 24 10 is the number.
We do this every single week, and this week our best ick is walking away with tickets to go see Pink. Pink's Summer Carnival tour with special guest Tones and I is coming to Melbourne. She's playing Marvel Stadium in February and March. The fourth and final show has been added. Tickets on sale today at midday. Visit livenation.com.au. Liam, I had an ick this week.
What is it?
Well, actually, I realised an ick this week when people do the internal sneeze. I hate that.
Just let it out.
Yeah, where it's like...
Yeah, stop being so uptight. When you're so uptight, you can't even sneeze.
And, like, the whole point of a sneeze, it's your body trying to get things, like, out of your nose and stuff.
Yes.
But you're just going and keeping it in there.
But cover, of course. Cover.
The elbow, always in the elbow. I was raised by my mum, a nurse, who always said, sneeze in your elbow.
Dab on them. Yeah,
Exactly.
People that just let it fly like a child.
No. I think
Freakish.
that's not the worst. The worst is if you sneeze into your hands. You cup your hands and sneeze into your hands. Yes, Liam, you do it. And then, like, what does that achieve? You sneeze into your hands. Great. Now you've caught it all at close range in your hands, and you can go around and touch everything. You've just concentrated the germs onto your hands.
I suppose so. I don't like people who have baths. Mainly men. I know Ben. I know he's not here, but he likes a bath, and it gives me the ick. I find
Is that
it
just
gross.
because have you ever owned? Like, do you have a bath at yours?
I got a bath.
You do?
Don't use it though.
I
I just
you
use
need
it for
to have
Beyblades.
That's an ick. Grown men that use Beyblades.
No,
you need to have a bath. Have a bath.
What? So I can float around in my own filth and then get pruny hands. No thanks. I'll just have a shower like an adult.
So then have a shower and then have a bath as a treat.
No, it's not a treat to sit
It
in
is
your
a
own
treat.
muck.
You will come out of there feeling so relaxed and your skin will be all smooth and moisturised.
Emma in South Morang, she's given us a call already. What gives you the ick, Em?
When you see people trying to beat the traffic running across the road, like just wait at the lights like a normal person.
Yeah, no, I get you. Yeah. You don't want to see them too flustered. Although, as well, if they're walking too slow, it's an annoyance, isn't it? But you just want... I like seeing people composed, and they've just, they're making the right decisions going, that's not for me, I'll wait. I get what you mean.
To run.
I get what you mean. Thanks, Emma. Look, if you've got an ick, just a little thing that just gets under your skin, an annoyance, something that repulses you about someone. 13 24 10. You can also text in 0459 888 100. Elle from Sandringham said, when my boyfriend asks for a taste test of ice cream, gives me the ick.
Yeah. Very cute. Isabel in Mirrabah, good morning. What gives you the ick?
Good morning. When you're out for dinner and somebody licks their knife.
Yeah, I get you. Especially like a serrated steak knife. You're really playing with fire there, aren't you?
Yeah, like why are you licking your knife? Just put it onto your fork and then put your fork in your mouth.
Oh, as in
Isabel,
scrape it on the fork. Yeah.
Do your eating habits differ? Like if no one's in the room and you're just home alone and it's a Friday night, would you tongue the bowl maybe?
No.
Even if you had like your
Um,
favourite ice cream and no one was looking, and there was like a few scraps left, would you lick it like a dog?
No, I'm that person who uses their spoon and scrape
Oh
the time.
yeah.
Really?
Well, I may be a dog licker.
No.
I don't know if you could tell.
Okay, no, dog licker is completely different.
Well, no, I don't lick. It's not my. Yeah.
I'm a dog licker.
No, I lick the bowl like a dog. Is what I'm
yes,
saying.
I'm a plate and bowl licker as well.
When
yeah.
no one's looking.
Yeah.
Pip in East Malvern, tell us what gives you the ick.
What gives me the ick is when someone says the word anyways with an S on the end.
Yes.
Or
It's
just in,
not a word.
Yeah, in general, when people add S's onto things.
Yes,
So they
I
just
think
add it, you know.
I think the first time we did this, I said that's the biggest one of mine is use. I can't stand that.
There was I noticed Belle was quite annoyed yesterday because we had like listeners over for like the Matildas, and it was like, how are you feeling after the game? There was a lady that did say use, managed to say it like about 6 times in the one sentence, like, oh, yous did a great job, yous are great, and Belle's like, I can see her shriveling up in the corner.
But yes, Pip, anyways, oh my gosh, awful.
I think Ben uses that one.
He does?
Quite a
He
bit.
absolutely does.
You're lucky he's not here. He would have been offended. Yasmin in Port Arlington, tell us what gives you the ick.
Stickers on fruit. For God's sake, I know it's an apple. Thanks very much. I don't need a sticker.
It's true.
That's true,
You don't really need to
actually.
scan it. You just drop it on the thing, you click what it is on the panel.
Why do they still put stickers on them?
Probably bad for the environment and such. No, I agree.
I don't know. It drives me nuts. Don't put a sticker on a piece of fruit, please.
You know what? Actually, yeah, Yasmin, I've started eating a lot of limes recently because you don't need to know why, but I'm just eating a lot of limes recently.
I actually kind of want to know now because you've made it more of a point out of
I
it.
dug a bit of a hole. No,
Why are you eating so many limes?
Luke and I are trying to drink less alcohol, and we used to have a wine every night. Now we have a soda water and lime. That's it. It's very boring. But even limes.
Just to say, your initial judgment was right there.
As small as limes are, they all have stickers on them, and it does really annoy me because I'm like, this is so tiny, and the sticker takes up half of it. Anyway, great
that's
story.
enough.
Tabitha, Lower Plenty.
That's enough time on stickers. Tabitha in Lower Plenty, yes. Please tell us your ick.
Okay, so what gives me the ick is when men drink champagne.
Oh, what do you mean?
I don't know why. There's just for some reason.
You know what it is,
just gives me the
Tabitha?
ick.
You know what? You've made a really good point. That is so true. Something I've never realised. Yes, men drinking champagne, I think it's because the glasses are so thin and you've got to kind of like cup your hand. And seeing a guy do it is just like, yeah.
You're allowed to have bubbles with the boys every now and then, just when you're feeling a
It's
little
just-
fancy.
Look, I just think it's more of a ladylike to drink that long from the long glass. But
yeah.
for men, it just doesn't. It just gives me the ick. There you go.
I suppose you can't stop what gives you the ick. Tabitha, I actually got called out the other day because I had a little flute of champagne, and as I drank, I couldn't help it, but my pinky just sort of locked out, and a mate was like, "Oh, you're sticking your pinky out," but I just didn't, and I could see how that would give people the ick.
Yeah,
if you sort of
that's
lift it
bad.
up. Hey, Tabitha, would you like to go to Pink?
I would love to go to Pink.
Well, you're heading along. We'll give you a couple of tickets.
Oh my God! Thank you so much. That's awesome.
No worries, Tabitha.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, bit of shush thanks. Time for Ben, Liam and Belle's Friday Meat Tray.
We give this away every week, so if you give us a buzz anytime during the week on 13 24 10 and you get on the show, you're in the running for the Friday Meat Tray. We give it away to our best caller.
Yeah, it's a nice meat tray as well from Oran Poultry Co. It's dedicated to producing the finest locally reared chicken, cockerel, pullet, duck and game birds. Visit oranpoultryco.com to find out more. Valued at $200. I want to give a nod of the head to Jenny, who we had on this morning. 16 kids. That's incredible, right?
Yeah.
That's well worth an honourable mention. I think the call... I mean, normally it's our best call of the week. This is probably just the call that I think has stuck in my head the most this week.
It's one of those calls that happened and it was so obscure and so weird that, yeah, we will never forget.
I think we had a live possession, like on our show. I think someone was...
or a live death.
Yes, still undecided. This is what happened when Peter called through earlier this week. So true. Sometimes a booty don't need a language. You know, it just speaks to you.
Oh, what?
Wonderful, Peter. Congratulations.
What happened?
You got me? Still there, Peter?
Oh my God, Peter!
What the hell?
We lost.
I think
Did Peter just...
either Peter's possessed, or did you hear that sort of low growl?
We didn't just lose Peter live on air.
I just
did
heard
we?
like a... Okay, now he's put us on hold.
Peter.
Let's do a welfare check now. Peter in Ontario South. Are you alive? Are you with us?
Yes, I am still alive. I didn't die. I didn't get possessed. Thankfully.
Yay! Peter's alive.
Peter. I mean, like, do you know what happened?
I think I had you on a Bluetooth earpiece,
Yep.
and then I thought the call dropped out, so I was trying to ring back, and I didn't even realise I made that.
Was that you? So was that you? So what we thought was you being possessed by a spirit or potentially dying was you a bit grumpy at the Bluetooth system, just giving it a bit of a growl.
Peter, I must say your phone line doesn't sound super reliable either. You're kind of going in and out now. So before we lose you again, shall we shoot you the
Yes.
meat tray to celebrate you being alive?
Yes, I think that's a good idea.
Absolutely. When you're ready.
All right, Peter, your coordinates are in. We're shooting it over now. It's on its way. It's coming.
Oh, bloody hell, I just got turkey slapped.
Okay, well.
Bit of fun.
Okay.
He said
No.
it. No, I didn't bloody say it. So that's Peter's fault. You can complain about Peter, but not me. Certainly not me.
We've been doing the meat tray for a long time and I haven't had that one before. Well,
Creative. Well, now it's been taken, guys, so no one else can use it.
sorry, just jumping back on here. I have remembered.
Oh, of course. See,
what
this is
what it's
exactly
from,
what I said was going to happen, Belle.
and I have proof.
This is the thing you were talking about at the start of the podcast where you said it's been an honour.
It's been an honour. Yes. So you will find
Because the way you're saying it is like some sort of like they're about to go into battle and, you know, what I mean, you're saying quite stoically.
Yes.
I was thinking sort of like Lord of the Rings or Game of Thrones, something
And
like that.
I will
been
say
an
later,
honour.
I was thinking down that path, but no, the accent throws you. It's from Love Actually. It's the last scene between Billy Mack and his manager, Joe, Exhibit A.
It's been an honour.
Yep,
Oh,
thank
yeah,
you.
Bill Nye. As it turns out, you're the love of my fucking life.
No. You have to do it correctly. Turns out you are the love. No, what did he say? Turns out. Oh no, we're doing it again. No, turns out the person
Yeah,
that I
I
love
know the scene.
is you.
Because he's
yeah.
he's the, you know, the faded rock star. I feel it in my fingers.
I feel
it in my
toes. Feel it in my. Yeah, great.
Yeah. One of the great.
I usually start watching that as of about September, so I'm due soon.
I watch around Christmas too every year.
Oh, I see it like usually about 3 times before Christmas in the lead up, and then
I feel like you need to
another
broaden
3.
your horizons a little bit though. I know I literally said I've watched Love Actually like every Christmas, but like, you know, I think it's safe to say now this is a safe space. When we were talking about Matilda's hype and how exciting it was. In actual fact, what were you watching when the most iconic moment in Australian sporting history was happening? I'm talking about the France game on Saturday night.
Well, Luke was watching it upstairs, so he called me when the penalty started.
What were you watching?
I was downstairs, and I'm currently in the 2nd season of Gossip Girl.
Yeah, it's
and
a
I'm
show that
rewatching
you-
it for. I've counted now. It's the 4th time I've
So it's like,
rewatched
why?
Gossip Girl because it's great.
It's just you know, just like life's all about new experiences. You know, what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like oh, you got holidays, and you just go to Bali every year.
It's actually it's actually an anxiety thing, turns out. If you like to rewatch things because you know the ending and it doesn't make you stressed not knowing what the ending is, it's actually a comfort thing.
What a sad note to finish the podcast on. Just let that sink in. All right, bye.
Been an honour.
For more great comedy shows like this, head to novapodcasts.com.au.